Dora, and this is the Oracle Office Hours. I love to see where you're coming from and feel our big family of light, our beautiful community across the world. So if you can pop in your chat box where you are today, that would be really fun to presence and see. There's some familiar faces and some new people, which is always fun. It's always beautiful. And for the new people who've never been with us, this is an opportunity for you to get a personal divination reading from the oracle cards of the 13 Moon Mystery School and receive the wisdom of the divine feminine archetypes. So we're going to start with a very sweet collective reading and a little practice to get us into the heart. I often I repeat myself in the beginning of these calls so that new people can orient themselves and feel into my intention and the overarching frequency that this is being offered in. So I am an ordained priestess of the 13 Moon Mystery School. I'm going on 15 years in this deep devotional practice. And some people may resonate with that word priestess, and others may say, well, I'm a healer, I'm a light worker, I'm a way shower, I'm here for the collective awakening and the shift. And that's what a priestess is. So whether or not you ever wish to call yourself by that name, or that you just feel there's something resonant about embodying the divine feminine energies in this time, you're in the right place. This is the place to be. I like to hold the Oracle Office Hours like a mini temple. And this image behind me is a physical temple that I created. This is in the temple space I used to live in. And every month for 13 months, I offer an in-person ceremonial experience for a group of beings who are wishing to dive into the mysteries. And that's going on right now in person. And then a little later, we're going to talk about ways that even if you can't come all the way to Marin County, California to sit with me in person and the other beautiful beings, you can still join a temple-like experience to meet these archetypes in a very, very beautiful and powerful way. And that is the path of initiation. So before we begin with our reading, I just want to presence who's here a little bit. Welcome everyone who's putting their location in the chat. And we have people from all over the country, Minnesota, Sarah, welcome, Cynthia near me here in Marin, California, Jennifer, New Jersey. Greetings, Alana from Tasmania. Wow. Thank you. It must be some other day on the calendar there, or very, yeah, it's amazing. Lynn and Lee from Justine, welcome back. Hello, hello. Joyce from Seattle, Alexis, who's also in California, but up in the foothills of the Sierras in Placerville. Dia Therese from the Valley of Peace, my sister, welcome back. Sylvia, Hopewell Land, Central Ohio, honoring the beings that have lived there much, much earlier. Brenda from Illinois, Gurney. Simone from Germany, welcome back, sister. Lauren Ann from Sedona. Kieran from Vancouver, British Columbia. Kim in Boston, Massachusetts. Jeanette from Canada. And Alana is letting me know, yes, it is 7 a.m. on the next day. So that's fun. You can continue to presence yourselves. And I know there's beings that join us from Malta and the Middle East, London. It's such a beautiful community. So before we dive into the divination and the collective reading, I pulled a card earlier for us and I put it up for people that might not know about this to say, what is this? And come and check it out too online. And it's a very special card that I look forward to sharing. But before we do that, let's put a hand right on our hearts, our sacred hearts. Our heart chakra has this powerful, deep, deep connection to to presence. So closing our eyes for a moment together. And if you want to put your other hand of light on your lower belly, it's very grounding. Breathing with me a few deep breaths, feeling this opportunity to come inward. You can even sigh. Giving the hand on your heart chakra a little spiral, a little energy. This brings us even more into the present moment, and it's good for us. It releases oxytocin, some of those natural, wonderful chemicals of peace, calm, down-regulating our nervous system. Go ahead and lean a little bit more into your back body. Feel how this automatically kind of activates your central channel, and the breath flows freely, bringing the crown of the head back, and the heart lifts as if a flower is blossoming in the sun. Go ahead and feel a little sweetness, an inner smile. Deep breath. We open to receive the beauty, the mystery, the archetypes of the divine feminine. And we know that our heart's desire, our true heart's desire, our intention is powerful. So as you receive these messages from beyond the veil, feel for resonance, feel for truth as a feeling in your heart knowing. The heart is very powerful inner technology. And just breathing and feeling your own personal prayer, your own personal intention, your heart's desire. Perhaps there is something you've been working with that you're bringing for guidance today. We are such vast beings, multidimensional beings. We have parts of us that are already completely tuned in to our higher self and the divine. Parts of us are completely at peace. And then there are other parts that are integrating and alchemizing, parts of our inner child, parts of our just human adult that are dealing with challenges in this world. And all of these parts are welcome here. One more deep sigh and feeling yourself as this multidimensional being that is grounded in the body, centered in the heart, receptive. It is a very beautiful thing to come together in these high frequency portals, this high frequency intention. This is the alchemy to raise our vibration, our frequency together today. So we open our eyes slowly, and I bow to you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for showing up for yourself. I'm excited to share the collective card I pulled and taking in the frequency of this card. Oops, it disappears when I lean. So taking in the green and the gold and this frequency of green and the sacred geometry of the cube, the emerald cube, and this word, this very powerful word, sovereignty. So let's take a moment to just feel into the symbolic universe. Here we have the forest, the green of Gaia, our Mother Earth, this precious, precious planet. And we have the sun, the gold of the sun showering in. And you can feel these two forces, the power of these two energies, and how we are beings of earth and sun. We need this combination, this union, the matter, mother of earth, that force of grounded material well-being to be in a body. And spiritual and material come together in our lives, in the heart. There is no make wrong about the material world. Mother is the prime emanation of manifestation into form. And this light, the solar light, represents the divine masculine, the consciousness that permeates all form, the transcendent father principle. So in our sovereignty, when we walk in balance between our divine feminine and divine masculine energies, we walk in a sovereign center. So let's talk a little bit more about the cube. You can't roll this thing over. It doesn't tip. It's very strong, very steady, very structured. And as a collective reading, I would be listening to that as some guidance around what creates structure, what creates that integrity. When something is integrous, it's sound, it's strong, it's integrated. What it's asking to be brought into more integrity, stability in your life, so that you're not easily knocked over by things people say or do, or life circumstances. That's another way we'll come into this powerful word, sovereignty. So, what is it to be a sovereign being? In the mystery school training that I've been deeply involved in for 15 plus years now, when I first came in, I was like, what is that? I know what it is for a king or a queen to be a sovereign ruler over a land or a people. But this is an old paradigm, really. We're inviting this spiritual sovereignty, the sovereignty that is all of our birthright. What is it to be sovereign unto ourselves? We've heard about this is a free will reality here, a free will universe. And though I agree, this being said, we are so heavily conditioned. We are so heavily imprinted by not only our parents and our childhood conditioning, but the cultural consensus consciousness and our ancestral epigenetics, our programming deep, deep inside. To be truly sovereign is to awaken from that conditioning. And it is a path of alchemy and a path of courage to start to see all the layers of conditioning. Is it even my thought? Is it a true belief? Is it sound? Is it real? Is it integrous? Or am I running stories that control me? Am I truly free? And there is an expression that helps us in this way to check in. As a sovereign being, I move from the truth of my heart knowing, moment to moment. So, beloveds, as our collective reading, this is an invitation to start to listen. What is the truth of your own heart knowing? And your belly wisdom, your intuition, below the mental dissonance, below the chatter. It's really weeding through the conditioning. Here are some other things to consider when one says, I am sovereign, I am a sovereign being. How at the effect are you still to other people's projections on you? How much are you still seeking validation and approval? For you are not free until you can let people have their reality movie, their projection on you, and stay centered in the center of your self-trusting. Stay in that light of your own heart knowing. There's many of us that wish for an outer figure, a guru, to tell us what's true. This is part of humanity's conditioning for so long, whether it's a guru or a church or some authority figure to tell us what's right or wrong. To be a sovereign being is to step into the inner teacher. G, you are you. You are the one. Only your heart knows. So this is some deep medicine for us in these times where there's a lot of different projections, beliefs, opinions, and now we have AI and technology telling us what's happening on the screens. How do we know what's true for us? How do we slow down and feel from our intuition to weed through the illusions, delusions, and confusions in this world? We're being invited to step so much deeper into that sacred center, into that integrous core knowing, and practice becoming your own channel. A lot of people pay psychics and channels lots of money to tell them things about themselves. What if we are all channels? It's our birthright to open, to receive information, to receive gnosis, direct inner knowing. Sovereignty. Trust your inner knowing. Let's ring the bowl for sovereignty, for the one. Blessed be. So if that resonated, I'd love to hear anything in the chat that is pinging you for your own life, because the archetypal energy is deep medicine for many. It may resonate around your question, your desire, your intention you're bringing in today, even. There may be something from that that brings you deeper into your own knowing. Lynn and Leaf say, hearing our own still small voice. Ahom. Yes, often the voice of truth is very subtle. The voice of ego mind can be very loud and very fast and very reactive. I have been at the effect of things I've read online or seen posted, and then felt like where I wanted to share things or talk about it, and then slowed down and felt, does this make me feel good, empowered, grounded, or is this triggering fear or drama? And that first knee-jerk reaction really is a red flag for me now. It's like, what was the intention of this? Who created this and why? There's going to be so much bombardment of information in these days. So to learn how to trust your intuitive channel, your gnosis, is more important than ever. Really important. Yes, these are things that have resonated for people. Kieran says, to be your own channel, know yourself. Oh, Lauren, I have not been truly listening to what I want and need in this situation, or pretending I don't hear because of fear. And that's powerful. To name that is to already be witnessing the part that is resisting your own knowing. And in that witnessing, you have a choice. You can shame or judge yourself and contract, and then we don't learn and we don't grow, or you can bring compassion to the part that's afraid. And when we bring that love and compassion there, that's where the alchemy and the miracles start to flow. So that's a powerful share, Lauren. And as you catch these patterns, you are free. You become more sovereign. Simone, trusting what we feel and sense in our hearts and follow the guidance. Yes. Blessed be. Jeanette resonated too. Thank you. This was touching, beautiful, and inspiring. I desire to be free from the need for approval and be sovereign. It really shows up. You are so not alone. It will show up with our nearest and dearest, our parents, our lovers, our best friends, our spiritual community. The places that we get most triggered will show us where we are still coming into that radical self-trusting, the sovereignty. And many times it's the internalized voices of the church, the parents, whatever the programming has been. and to catch that again with compassion. I love you, Mom, and I'm not you. Thank you for your worry. Thank you for your fear. I know it's coming from love and care. I'm not going to internalize that anymore. And to really start to open up that still small voice that Linden Leaf spoke about, that can be a lot more subtle. Alana, following my heart, knowing and building structures that support me in my life journey. Witnessing you. Sarah, letting growth take an organic course without knowing how. Oh, beautiful shares. Cynthia, self-authority, aligned with my soul's whisper and be guided by my own truth and GPS directly to the divine. Blessed be. I don't know if it's Joyce. I have an iPhone to everyone. Breathing before responding in triggering situations is wise, prudent, and can be difficult, but worth cultivating and mastering for the highest self-good. Yes, pattern interrupters. I often share some pattern interrupters that work for me. When we flip our lid, when we're in a fight and flight response, we're not sovereign. We're snared by the projection field and the young parts, the conditioning. Every reaction obviously comes from a past imprint. That's why it's a reaction. So how do we come back to presence, to breath, to, this is just the perfect setup for me to love myself, to transmute this trigger rather than running like a chicken with our heads cut off. Dia Therese, development of my discernment when my higher mind speaking to me and when it is louder 3D ego collective mind or lower. Got you. Totally. This is the practice, and this is a priestess practice, moving out of emotional reactivity into feeling body navigation. There is a very subtle yet powerful shift to start tracking. Am I in a reaction? Is my emotional body grabbing the wheel from my imprinting? Or is it intuition? Are the hairs on my arm standing up with truth bumps? Am I feeling my yes and my no in my body? There are so many ways to activate our extrasensory channels of perception. And that's one thing we do in this particular archetype, the realm I'm sitting in the sapphire blue frequency of the goddess. Beautiful. Pat says, I am guided by my own inner guidance. No debt to engage other offers. Powerful. Blessed be. Wow, wonderful shares, everyone. Thank you for your participation. This is one of my favorite parts of this work. So I'd like to invite that for new people who haven't been on one of these calls and may not know, there's a way to raise your hand for a personal oracle reading. You scroll down to the reaction bar, in the bottom nav bar of Zoom, there's a little smiley face with an arrow by it. When you press that arrow, you'll see an opportunity to raise your hand. And we have some hands raised already. I'd love to read for people that I haven't read for recently to give everyone a chance, and especially for new people. Beautiful. Wonderful. I'm going to invite Sarah to unmute, and I'll bring you on to the screen with me. Hi.
Hey, Eden.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Where are you beaming in from again? I might have missed.
Oh, that's Minnesota.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Yay. And are you friends with Alexis? You know Alexis?
Yes, she's a
Oh,
dear
that's
friend.
great. Oh, I'm excited to be with you soon in Enter the Temple. That's
Yes, me
exciting.
too.
Yay. So, Sarah, I'm shuffling the cards for you. And while I'm shuffling, go ahead and just bring your hand back to your heart and just take a breath or two and feel into that intention, that heart's desire around a particular area of your life. And when I pull the card, I'm going to pop you off and then bring you back in. So keep yourself unmuted. And now I'm going to spread and fan the cards out, and we'll hope they don't disappear too badly in the background today. Do my best to create space. All right. Are you ready, Sarah?
Ready.
All right. So as I scroll along, you let me know when you want me to stop by saying there or now. Okay?
Okay.
Here we go.
There.
All right, you got you got a sacred tool of the goddess. So I'm going to hold it up. And before I do, I'll say that some of the cards are sacred tools. Some of them are like that sovereignty geometry, a frequency card with a geometry, and others are the archetype of the goddess herself. So
Yeah.
all the tools and geometries are connected to a powerful divine feminine archetype. And yours, my dear, is one of the most kick-ass powerful ones. Whoop. You got the sacred tool of the crystal skull. And yeah, it is really something. So the word is focus. Like a laser beam, your consciousness is being asked to focus to create. This archetype that this tool comes from is called the creator, destroyer, preserver. And her mantra is I focus, I create. So I'm going to bring you back in to deepen with this. So the crystal skull, much like a magnifying glass, if it catches a beam of sunlight, can refract it and start a fire, can start a holy fire with that kind of focus, a creative explosion of Shakti fire. And the creator, destroyer, preserver is connected to fire, to the element of fire. And she's also connected to the Indian goddess Kali, Kali Ma. And Kali is not a pretty, soft, and sweet goddess like Aphrodite or even a very rarefied heavenly form like Kuan Yin. Kali is the destroyer when needed. Just like that fire
Mhm.
can be used to light a fire that fuels something or burns down something that no longer serves you. And she's asking you to really focus on the things in your life and the patterns in your life that may be asking for that holy fire to come destroy in the sense of make room for that which is creative and real and true and will serve you and generate something more in alignment with your frequency. So to take some time to focus, that might be automatic writing, that might be meditation, that might be creating some beautiful symbolic art. Focus your energies with this goddess archetype to assist you to really feel when you focus what is asking to be destroyed, what is asking to be created. And then the third part of this name of this archetype is the preserver. What is real and true and worthy of your attention to cultivate, to nurture, to protect that which is essence? Focus and get very clear about these things. How's that resonating for you? Oh, let's see. I have to ask you to unmute again. Go ahead.
Yeah, the snowplow was coming through, causing a big ruckus, making it really hard to focus. So that was so funny. Let me, can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
I
I can
think I'm
hear you
muted.
perfectly. Yeah.
So it was just sort of like everything was happening in real life as you're reading. And I'm like, all these things going on in my head too. And the skull also being symbolic of what these brain projects I'm trying to birth. And yeah, it was very symbolic, fitting, and funny. It's almost
Yeah,
like a little
perfect.
test.
Even with the noise, even with the distraction, even with a snowplow coming through our yards, metaphorically, how do we stay focused? And it's connected to that inner vision as well. It's connected to the third eye, the Ajna chakra, and awakening that kind of seeing beyond the immediate appearances, really focusing to see the light behind all appearances. And as you meditate, as you do any kind of journaling with stream of consciousness, ask, show me, help me. I am ready to see clearly. Focus on that which is true.
That's a great tool to ask for help.
Blessed be for the one. I'm going to ring the
Thank
bowl
you.
too, and for this sacred tool of the crystal skull. Blessed be. I focus, I create. Great to see you. See you soon in
Thank
temple.
you.
Bye. Great. Yeah, I'm sure that resonated for others here. Yes, Dia Therese says, thanks for choosing focus. Yes, focus. Okay, I hope you don't have to change your bank security. Hopefully nobody that knows you gets the password. That's cute, Dia Therese. All right. Let's let's choose another being who has not had a reading. Alana from Tasmania. Love to bring you on and have you unmute. Hello.
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 I know normally can't be here because of work with the time zone difference, but it's a public holiday, so
Oh, fantastic. So you've been catching the replays usually, or yeah,
yeah, I try to, yeah.
wonderful. I'm glad to meet you and have this chance. And Tasmania, wow, I lived in Australia for 2 years and I never made it to Tasmania, but I've heard that's just exquisitely beautiful, the nature and
It's
amazing.
beautiful. There's lots of national parks and so forests and mountains and beautiful beaches as well, depending which side of the island you're on. So it's the little island state underneath Australia.
Fantastic. All right, well, that gives me joy knowing that the archetypes of the goddess are amplifying their way in Tasmania, the little island at the tip of Australia. So let's spread your cards and I will pop you off and bring you right back after we choose it. Okay, are you still unmuted?
Yeah.
Good. Are you ready? Here we go.
Here.
Is it this one? It was kind of tucked in. You feeling her? Okay. Whew. You've gotten the wise woman. Wonderful thing and that kind of amazing thing about this is the being in this card looks a lot like she could potentially be an Aboriginal Australian or maybe an Aboriginal being from the Andes or something very indigenous. So you got the goddess archetype herself, and she's also not your typical flowing gowned goddess that we sometimes project all the goddesses are like. She is called the wise woman, the crone, the goddess archetype that is honoring the limitless light of Divine Mother Sophia. And the word crone comes from corona of light, the inner light. No matter what biological age we are, this archetype is alive in us as we tune into our wisdom. And it comes back again to heart knowing. I'm going to bring you back on, beloved. So she's asking us to look beyond black and white polarity, reality from that lens, that limited lens of splitting, and to find the sacred third, the infinite space in between black and white thinking. In the checkerboard of reality, there is so much opening when we step out of that right, wrong, good, bad, yes, no, rigid black and white thinking. There's something in there that creates a lot of freedom, a lot of spaciousness. And how do we do that? Heart knowing. Again, just like the sovereignty card, she's inviting us into heart knowing. You see, she's walking with this sacred tool of the staff. And it's also got a very beautiful, transparent caduceus snake rising up. It's the staff that represents your central channel. And this sacred tool that asks us to simplify and resonate and attune more. And that's how we get in touch with the heart knowing. So for those that have a practice that brings them back, maybe you do, Alana, maybe you know how to come into that quiet knowing, that simplicity, that attunement, and find the resonance for what's true for you. She is inviting that very deeply. And she's also saying, don't get too heavy. Remember, there's some levity, coyote medicine, not to take yourself and life too seriously, because this is also consciousness lubricant to stay free, to stay light, to keep that corona bright. It's that wild woman, wacky, crazy wisdom of coyote medicine to shake it up. There's some masks dropping those identity masks we've been attached to. Underneath all the masks is the limitless light of your essence. So she's also going to ask you to look at where you're overly attached to any identity mask. Anything you put after I am, and this is for everyone here. This could be really powerful medicine to journal on this. When you write down, I am a daughter, a sister, a mother, a lover, whatever, even a good person, your profession, I am a priestess, whatever it is, really feel into how much attachment there is to being seen in these masks. Because the less attached we are, the more free we are, the more that we can shape shift for the benefit of presence. And that's wisdom. Wisdom is very fluid consciousness. I hope this serves your journey and resonates.
Oh, it does. And I feel like there's so many layers to unpack in what you've shared there with the wise woman. And definitely a strong need to simplify. Like I simplify, I resonate, because so often I get pulled in multiple directions and overwhelmed and scattered. And so the kind of coming back to center and following my heart knowing, and that was, it was perfect. Thank you.
So welcome. Let's ring the bowl to the wise, wise one inside us all, the essence light, the heart knowing that follows resonance. I simplify, I resonate. Wonderful to get to meet you, Alana. Blessings. Bye for now. Beautiful. Okay, Jennifer says she hasn't received a reading. So let's find Jennifer. Can you turn your camera on, Jennifer? Yeah, wonderful. Hi, come and join me. Hello. Where are you being from again?
New Jersey.
Oh, right. Fantastic. So this is your first time. Welcome. Yeah. So I'm shuffling the cards for you, Jennifer. And as I do, just take that moment to tune back into your own precious heart, to your life, to the areas you know that you've been either stuck or struggling, and what this archetypal wisdom might open up for you, receiving from that place. And yeah, let's make me bigger for a second, and then I'll pop you back in. Stay unmuted. Okay, Jennifer, let's spread them out for you. Okay, here we go. Ready? Are you unmuted?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Stop.
Oh, yeah. Woo! Okay, you got a goddess archetype, just like Alana, but very different. The funny part, or the interesting part, is they share something in common, though when you see it, it'll be challenging to feel what that is. You got the magical muse, the archetype of the divine child, that which brings us back into wonder, whimsy, joy. She says, I play, I inspire. I'm going to bring you back in, but I wanted everyone to get a feeling, and especially you, with it nice and big. This is the realm of magic. This is where we remember our creative genius and the magic we felt as children again, and how that can be such a blessing. And the goddess most associated with this archetype is Sarasvati, the Indian goddess of music. She's also a goddess of wisdom, just like
I play music too.
perfect.
I sing, I play piano, and a little bit of guitar.
That's fantastic. She's here for you. She is saying, I am close. Listen to me. I am also the subtle voice of your heart knowing. And from that place where your inner child transmutes the heaviness, the pain of the wounded child, and becomes that liberating, incredibly magical divine child. So she's inviting you to attune more to the voice of your child, even if it's at first like, I don't trust you. You never talk to me. Why are you now wanting to know what I want and need? Just to start listening even more, to play with her. Her expression is, I play, I inspire. People say, oh no, play is frivolous. That's for children. Play is creative genius. That's where new solutions and possibilities open up.
Yep.
When we allow ourselves to play, whether it's music or a fun game with intuition, or playing with a real child, and letting your imagination expand. This is the channel of the muse, and you are a muse, pulling down songs and lyrics and music from spirit. She is confirming, open it more, play with me more. I am here for you. Dance with me, sing with me, feel deeper with me. She's also inviting us to trust vulnerability. When we risk being vulnerable, it's another portal that opens for spirit, for miracles, for movement that's beyond what our ego mind, who wants to stay in control, could ever conjure. The vulnerability of the heart opens the way for magic again. So the muse is inviting you into that sweetness, that feeling, that connection with your inner child, and the risking of more vulnerability in your life.
I definitely relate to that right now.
Beautiful. Yeah, she's inviting you also. Maybe there is a way to commune with your inner child that will serve those places where you might feel so sensitive and vulnerable relationally, because our inner children really project so much of the reality movie in our relationships. So the more you can attune, love, listen, and hold space for those feelings, the more that will be then reflected in the hall of mirrors with others, how you feel with others. So
What's the Hall of Mirrors?
the hall of mirrors is a way of saying, we're all the one heart. We're all here playing in these separate skin suits, but often we dream up the perfect characters and people in this curriculum, this evolutionary curriculum, like a long hall of mirrors, until we love ourselves in every reflection. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. I'm glad this
Nice to meet
resonates.
you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're going to ring the bowl to the one divine child, the muse, the creative portal that opens when we attune to that inner voice. Blessed be. Wonderful. So, is there anyone else who hasn't received a reading, or at least not for a long time, that maybe wants to wave their hand at me from the window? Kieran, have we read yet? Oh, Cynthia, hi, you got your hand waving first. I see you. Come on over. Hi. Oh, let me ask you to unmute.
I did.
Yay. Hi,
Good.
love.
Hi.
Thanks for hanging out with me in this way. I'm going to call you right after this too.
That's perfect.
A
I'll
little
just stay
bit,
on.
a little bit more of the goddess frequencies. Yay. So Cynthia is in the year-long priestess training with me, that I'm sitting in one of those temple spaces, and we are in the archetype of the Great Mother right now. It's a very different frequency than this. Yeah, this is a little preview for you. You can see what's coming soon. And yay, I'm glad you're here. When people come into the in-person training, they get a personal check-in with me, and we get ours right after this. So, beloved, just come into your precious heart as I shuffle the cards and feel that opening to receive. And you will know what the archetype is speaking to, what area of your life. And I'm going to make myself bigger. And then when you open your eyes, fan the cards for you. All right. Ready, beloved? I hope you're still unmuted. Okay, speak up really loud. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, good. Okay. Here we go. You tell me when.
Now.
Oh, we got another Creator Destroyer card. Kali Ma is in the house. It's sacred geometry. Whoop. This is the squaring the circle. This is the cube and the sphere together, and it is the geometry that represents liberation. You can see embedded in this geometry is lava. There's a lot of fire. And there's also this sweetness of this orchid or this petals that go much more with the preserver side of this archetype. So I'm going to bring you back in with me. So for those of us who fear change, this goddess is not for you. This goddess, she's going to let you know that nothing is real but ceaseless change, and to liberate ourselves from the illusion that we can control or hang on to anything, really. So this is a card that is saying, take a good look at your attachments. Take a look at what you couldn't live without. Really feel the difference between that which is essential, that beauty of the essence, that orchid white of the preserver, and that which the lava wants to plow over to create new lands in your life. Really feel what you're holding on to, because this is a card of liberation. I know that collectively we're going through a lot of big changes astrologically. Pluto is moving into Aquarius. It's like there's a lot that will be moving and shaking and transforming in the world and in our own lives. So for you, Cynthia, you're a wise woman. You embody that archetype. This is deepening you with still any identity masks, any attachments, anything that you, when you do that list of I am, anything you put after, when you feel in to what you would be if you weren't that. If I am not a mother, if I am not whatever, you put it in your list and just expand into the open space of liberation. And feel what's essential right now more than ever. This is going to resonate with many here, I'm sure. The liberation that we as a sovereign being, we are stepping into more and more freedom, freedom even from our thoughts and beliefs. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun when we get to this day long in the year long training. A lot of chances to dismantle strongly held attachments with love.
Yeah, that lava flow really resonates with me. It's kind of like that purification of clearing away anything that's no longer needed in my life, even in the relationships that I may have held on to in the past. And it's, just like, no, it doesn't serve me anymore. Let it go. So yeah, it does resonate a lot with what I'm going through right now.
Blessed be. So much love, beloved. Let's ring the bowl to the one for that kind of trust, that kind of ability to release and to allow life, allow what's in the higher resonance, calling us forward, matching our frequency, really being in the liberation of the old, outmoded patterns. Blessed be. Yay. We have a little bit of time left, and I wanted to bring my beloved friend and sister, priestess sister, on with me, Alexis. Hi.
Hi.
I thought it would be good to share a little bit more about what's coming up. In the beginning of the call, I mentioned that there's another opportunity to enter the temple to work with us. And, of course, not everyone can come into the physical temple space. Would you be willing to speak a little bit about how even the online temple space is a powerful portal of alchemy, and that you would think, okay, what is this? How can we do this work online? But you and I have been doing it for quite a while. So I thought it would be good for you to share your experience of that as well.
Yeah, thank you for asking me. It feels sort of like where to start. I've the online version of this temple has been very powerful in my life. How can I speak to this? It's like this place, especially that it happens in the day, in the middle of the week. It is this holding this space for me to be able to come back into myself and remember why I'm really here, especially as a lot of times in my week, I get caught up in all of the 3D reality. And especially on Thursdays, by that point of the week, I'm often kind of like stressy. And then to be able to have this space held for this temple, it's like, yes, remember, this is why you're here. This is what you're doing here. And it's like this holding that really puts me back into this place of being in my purpose and being in the alchemy with it all. I mean, I will say that the shares that happen in this temple are so powerful. And I mean, the questions that come up are really transformative. So for me, I mean, I've been through this circle again and again, and I get more and more out of it every single time. I mean, and to be able to be witnessed in this way is such a powerful opportunity. So that is honestly amazing. And I've just also enjoyed connecting with all of the people who have come to be part of it. And some of you are here right now, and some of you are probably watching this on the replay right now. But the love that comes through this temple is unreal. And then sometimes we get to meet in real life and give each other a hug and
Oh yeah,
go even deeper.
that's so beautiful when we have had the retreats and people from all over the world can come and join the retreat once they've done the temple work with us, whether it's online or in person, and then the groups connect. It's so beautiful. So Alexis and I were speaking about how, as we were originally launching a full year-long program, there were a lot of people that were telling us that's such a big commitment right now for me. I don't know where I'm going to be, or just even that financial commitment at that length is it's a big ask. And there were people asking for scholarships. So we did shift to a quarterly entry into the temple called Enter the Temple. And maybe Kim can share the link in the chat for those who've been watching from the wings, kind of on the fence, who are like, I want to read the page again. I want to join, but I'm still needing maybe a little scholarship. And so we've decided to do that, even for a shorter program, to make this possible, because there have been people that have asked, can I still have a scholarship? So we have an application for a few scholarships, and I encourage you to apply. I would encourage you to ask. It is significantly less. There, Kim put it in, and I know that some of you have already joined, and you might be like, oh man, I could have applied. I really wanted to make this available for people that have previously thought, this is a luxury, I can't even do this kind of work regularly. This needs to be spread in the world right now, because each of us who is coming into that remembrance, coming into that holding, coming into that level of love and witnessing is changing radically. And then that ripple of your frequency is changing your family, your community, your life view, your world. Our world is needing more of us to step into the heart. You know, when we talked about sovereignty and all the cards, there was a theme of coming back to trusting our heart knowing. And this path is a very direct way to get tools and skills and be held in that practice for your life. So please follow the link. Go ahead and take advantage of the application for the scholarship. You know, depending on your need, we're going to read them. We're going to consider everyone. And we would love you to be there with us. This is our last Thursday Oracle office hours. So it's been so beautiful. I will continue to do some free offerings moving deeper into this year. I will still do the free live spiritual masterclasses on the turn of the wheel. Those are like the spring equinox and Beltane and these things. So for those that know they want a more regular holding and to come deeper into the mystery, join us and Enter the Temple. We look forward to being with you there. And yeah, is there anything else you would say, Alexis, before we say goodbye today?
I would just really offer that if you do feel really called to it, and there's something that feels like it's in the way, that, you know, whether it's money or the time or whatever it is, to just really look at that. What is in the way? Especially now that we're making it more affordable. So
yeah, and often that's the initiation. And sometimes it's around self-worth. I know one person, I won't name names, who I love very much, who stepped into it. She said it in the chat. She goes, oh, I don't think I'll even be chosen if I had an interview. And I said, you are already chosen. You are so worthy of this kind of holding and love and deeper temple work. We are here for this great shifting together at this time. We're doing amazing work together. So show up for yourself and claim that you know you are ready to be held in the changes. Are you laughing at something someone wrote? Yeah. Okay. I wish all of you so much love. And for those who really wanted a reading and who didn't get a reading, I see you, and I'm going to encourage you to stay tuned for Oracle office hours, to come back later and to come and to receive a reading. I would love to meet you then. I would love to be with you in the space. But until then, join Enter the Temple, and we will be together again soon. Only love. Sending you all so much love, lifting this goodness of what we've received today to the one heart. for all beings. Blessed be. Goodbye, everybody. Bye for now. So much love. Bye.